The green area is safe. That's where you want to be. Yellow area is caution. And the red line, you don't want to exceed that. That's overspeeding the plane. Alright? Second, attitude indicator. Can someone tell me the difference between the blue and the brown? Yeah.
The brown is the ground and the blue is the sky.
Exactly. Just like you see outside when you're flying an airplane, there's going to be a divider between the ground where you want to go.
Does it shape the wings in proportion of the aircraft?
Thank you. So what he said was correct. You have to shape the wings. So if you look, most wings share this common shape. Now, what that does is it lets us control how the wind hits our wings. So if we look, the top is more bent than the bottom. Anyone have any guesses on why that might be? Why do you think the top is more curved than the bottom? Any guesses? Don't be shy. There's no wrong answer.
That's like the air and like.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that's very clever. I'll get that. Let's keep it there. Okay, pretty good. Who's next?
You got that.
Wow. Nice, good catch.
Wow! Oh my God! Neil,
Still left.
that's crazy.
George!
Oh my!
Oh, he's modifying his plane.
Oh, like, what are you doing for him?
Well, I didn't want it to go under the couch so we could still find it.
Okay, thank you.
Who's the last? And throw it. No rolls.
Is we're gonna have to talk. So Lakeland has a tower, right? So who can tell me what the purpose of having a tower is? Let's go with you.
Keeping the airplane safe.
Okay,
They control the airline traffic, so make sure that no airplanes are gonna collide to each other.
perfect,
Interfere with each other.
perfect.
They tell you when to take off, just in case someone else is on the runway.
Okay,
You know,
perfect
Of ground vehicles, like the fire trucks.
as well, right? Perfect. So the biggest thing is ATC's job is to keep us safe. What if I told you there are airports that don't have a tower? What would you say about that? Does every airport have a tower? No. There are airports that are what's called pilot controlled, which means we are responsible for seeing and avoiding each other. So we have to talk, right? So there are some airports that either the tower is closed or the tower is not in service currently, or it's past the closing time for that tower because not every tower is 24 hours. Or maybe the airport never had a tower in the first place. So we have to know how to talk to each other. Now that can be really complicated because flying is international, right? So we can have people from all over the world talk, but we all speak kind of differently, right? So what they did is they made the standard language for aviation under ICAO, which is basically the aviation organization that controls pretty much most of the friendly countries that we're allowed to fly in on how we can speak to each other. So one, you must speak English. That's rule number one. Rule number two is we kind of change some things in the alphabet. We also kind of change how we talk to each other and say numbers. That reason is because sometimes it's hard to hear. We have static, it's radio, right? It's not like a text message, it's not like a phone call, it's radio signals. And you'll see us when we go on the flight, we have to tune in to different radio signals to talk to different people. So, to make it easier for everybody to understand, we go ahead and we talk in what's called standard phraseology, a standard way to say something. So for example, we created the phonetic alphabet, and by we, I mean the British. We control going left to right on the ground, because that only really works to fly, right? Your feet. So if someone could go ahead and move the tail for me. So if you look back there, it's giving a little hello, right? That's how we go ahead and drive on the ground. That's what's called the rudder. That moves the tail, okay? Now, everything else is pretty basic. This is the trim. This is our gas pedal. So you notice how we drive with our feet, right? So in a car, the gas pedal is on your foot. Over here, the gas is with your hand. So go faster, go slower. and we take it out like that. You're correct, that's mixture. So that's how much fuel goes into the engine. And then we have all of our communications, our radios are over here. And then all the instruments we talked about earlier is over there. And that's the basics of how the cockpit works. And then we have Jeremy's GoPro.
Whenever we go fly, we always have to make sure that everything in this plane or any plane is working properly. From the cockpit, like what Blair just showed you, to now the outside of the plane. We have to make sure all the screws, rods, wheel, tire, brakes, and the engine and the propeller are properly installed, working, and nothing is broken, right? So there's always a flow that we follow to make sure we have checked everything and make sure that we haven't forgotten everything. So first things first is we always check something called as, what's this? Checklist. Right? Now yes, the checklist will have the exterior summary, right? Come here. The checklist will have exterior summary, right? Which is to check the fuel quantity, surfaces, tires, wheels, oil, and everything. There are two things we can do. We can either follow this step by step, which is going to take forever, or we can do a flow that I'm going to show you, and then we can use this to verify. And that's the right way to do it. A checklist is always a do and a verify to make sure we haven't forgotten anything. Sounds good? So let's start off with the wheel, right? This is the tire, and we have to make sure that, just like any car, pressure is good, right? The rubber or the threads are good. That means it's not going to blow up on us, and it's not going to skid or slip too much, right? Next thing we do is check the brakes, which is right here, right? What is the purpose of this?